Thank you. I just want to bring this back to Gorton and Denton. Matthew, how can you be sat here with a couple of security guys following you around when this afternoon, just this morning, I was with a group of interfaith women representing our community who told me that our women in this constituency, they're scared to leave their house because of the rhetoric that you have been peddling. You know, you say that people like me that have lived here for over 30 years, this country is not ours and it belongs to us. This is not the Manchester.
Sorry, I need to have a response
can
to
we
that.
With another immigration question, Shaphelia Grant, who is also from Connaught College, and I think a first-time voter as well.
So people are fearful that America's ICE enforcement culture could influence UK immigration policy. Where do you and your party stand on this?
Illegal immigration is too high. We've got the issue with the boats, people coming over on the boats, which is dangerous for the people on the boats, and that issue has not been tackled properly by this government. We've given thousands of millions of pounds to France to try and stop that, and it hasn't worked. So the Conservative policy is that we will come out of the European Court of Human Rights so that those people who come over illegally will not be allowed to claim asylum, and they will be taken to a third country, which is happening across Europe now, taken to a third country to be processed. There will also be an increase in staff to remove people who are overstaying illegally. So that's the Conservative position.
Thank you. Matt.
I spoke to a father in Longsight recently, running a store, a Muslim guy who was saying his kids couldn't get on the housing ladder. And then I discovered that in Denton, we have at least 20 HMOs, homes for multiple occupants, that have gone to people who have entered our country illegally. How is it right and how is it fair that British families, British young people, British military veterans are not able to get on the housing ladder, but we are making homes available to people who are breaking our laws and also charging British people £15 billion over the next few years for the privilege? How is it right that companies like Serco, backed by the Labour government in these areas, is using your money? They're using your money to outbid you in your own housing market. That's not right. That's not fair. Keir Starmer talks about fairness. We want to control immigration, fix the borders, and put the hard-working majority first.
Jackie.
Well, as a Liberal Democrat, I'm absolutely appalled by what ICE is doing in America. It's horrific. People have been shot on sight. They've been locked up without any of their rights. People with valid visas and green cards are being held in what amount to concentration camps. It's an absolute abomination. And frankly, scrapping our human rights here is not going to help that in any way. And we need to absolutely be clear that what they are doing is wrong, completely wrong. No equivocation about it. Now, maybe we've talked about, somebody mentioned foreign aid earlier. Well, how about using that foreign aid to make life better in the countries people are fleeing from in such desperation that they're willing to risk their lives in the Channel? Let's actually try looking at the source and helping people where they are so that they can live decent lives without having to run through such awful risks.
Thank you. Hannah.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. I think it's really terrifying what we're about to see over here. I think certain politicians are just cozying up to Trump, thinking that we can do what they're doing. And I'm really worried for my friends and neighbours who are immigrants themselves or the children of immigrants who I know have kept our city region moving for decades and decades and decades. And it's what you look like, isn't it? It's whether or not you fit into this box of what an immigrant is, whether you're born here or not. I think you're British. And I'll say I agree that our immigration system is absolutely broken. £6 million a day I think we spend on hotels. Serco absolutely signed up under the Conservative government. But let's not forget that the people who were responsible for breaking our immigration system are now in reform.
Can I add a response to that? I think, the people who have joined reform have joined because they reject the Tory governments and how they managed immigration disastrously. The Greens are advocating open borders. Can you imagine what that would do to Gorton and Denton?
Okay, Angeliki.
Right.
Thank you. I just want to bring this back to Gorton and Denton. Matthew, how can you be sat here with a couple of security guys following you around when this afternoon, just this morning, I was with a group of interfaith women representing our community who told me that our women in this constituency, they're scared to leave their house because of the rhetoric that you have been peddling. You know, you say that people like me that have lived here for over 30 years, this country is not ours and it belongs to us. This is not the Manchester.
Sorry,
I
I need to have a response
Can we
to that.
just, have we done time?
We need controlled
Just let the time
managed migration that supports our economy, combined with serious investment in our public services. Division is very easy, delivery is harder, and I am here to do the hard work.
Okay, I will allow Matt to reply to that.
I'm not going to be lectured to by a Labour politician from a party that consistently failed to investigate the mass rape and sexual abuse of working class kids in this country for 30 years. The reason women and girls are being sexually assaulted, largely, is because your government's running, a policy of open borders, which is putting women and girls at risk. And the reason I have security is because I have very real threats to my life in an area where people assure me everything is fine. And clearly, in some parts of this country, integration is not working as it should be. We need a responsible conversation about how this country is not working.
Just come back on that and then we're going to carry on. Okay, Angeliki.
Demonising immigrants is not going to resolve the problems that we are facing, and I'm very happy to have a discussion about the thing that you just raised, but it should not be an isolated discussion targeting a specific ethnic group.
Okay, thank you. I think we'll move on, calm things down a bit, move on to the next question.